Hi again, everybody. This video is sponsored by a contribution from Shay, and here's her story. Dear Ollie, on September 6th, I stayed lost in my mind, thinking of all the events that happened throughout the year down to that very day. September 6th, a day that will always hurt my heart and drive me to the edge of insanity thinking of that very day. This is Shay again. As I mentioned, it's been a full year that my parents took my kids, and I have been dealing with no contact and healing. I've done so good, and although the 6th was very depressing, I forced myself to instead focus on what there is to gain and how at ease I have been without the fear of the mood swings and outbursts, etc. I have not spoken to my parents, as I mentioned in my last letter, for months now, and when I do call for my children or send text messages, they're ignored. I have missed my kids greatly and deal with a constant battle of telling myself I am not a bad mother for having a life, even if it's without my kids. Even writing that last sentence makes me want to cringe, for I feel it makes me a horrible person. And I just cry thinking, what kind of mother am I? But as I told you in your last response, there is nothing I could have done to change the situation. And the fact is, you were right. Had I stayed and dealt with it more than likely, I would have went crazy or killed myself. I'm writing to you today because the unexpected happened. Today I was in town, and while I was shopping, I heard someone say, "Excuse me." So I said, "Sorry, let me move." And when I looked up, guess who I saw? Yep, my mother, the princess. At first I looked at her and simply turned around and continued to look at clothing. Then she said, "Are you even going to say hi?" Oh my God, like my mother. I slowly turned around and looked at her and said, "I don't know. I'm not sure what to say at the moment because I assumed you wanted nothing to do with me, seeing as you've been ignoring me for a while. So how do you know? So how do you want me to act? Like nothing is going on?" I could literally feel my heart fall into my stomach, and I felt a wide range of emotions. I felt angry for all that had happened, and I felt happy that she spoke to me for the hope that it would lead to the possibility of seeing my kids. She proceeded to tell me that she was already in the store, and when she seen me, she left. However, while driving, she felt that she needed to approach me and let me know how my children were doing, so she returned. She made sure to mention, and I quote, "I didn't have to come back, but I wanted you to know how your kids are doing and let you know what's been going on." Well, listen, cunt. Listen, you fucking grandstanding fucking cunt. You could do that anytime you want by ending the fucking charade. You think you're doing me a favor by saying you turned your fucking car around to tell me how my own kids are doing, who you fucking lied in court to have taken away from me because you get off on it? Thank you, Massa. Really? You should have punched the fucking bitch right in the face. She did it to rub it in. She did it so she could see your reaction. She did it to fucking gaslight you. Really? Really? You're that concerned? So she needed to physically see you to be concerned, huh? At first I was mad and said, "Well, then you should let me speak to them. You don't think I miss them? Why haven't you let me speak to them?" At this point, tears started falling down my cheek, and I could feel myself regretting having attitude because I didn't want to upset her and to not know about my kids, which is why she's doing it to you. I don't need you to tell me how my kids are. I need you to bring my kids to me and get the fuck out. She's not doing you any favors. She's torturing you. And you're giving her the power. You're giving her the power by, "Please tell me, mommy, what you're doing with how my kids are." She told me, "Well, I told the boys you had been called in and showed them the messages, and it was their choice not to speak to you. They said that they did not want to talk to you, and the reason I didn't respond is because the messages were not for me. Were not for me. You only asked about the kids, so I let them know. But that's what they said. Oh, what a lying bitch. This hurt me a lot, but I know there's a big chance that by showing this hurt, by showing, I know this hurt me a lot, but I know there's a big chance that by showing this hurt me beyond all belief, it would provide her with leverage over me and to use my kids even more to pull me in. Instead, I remained calm and said, well, if that's how they feel about it, I will always respect their feeling. And as far as asking you, I'm sorry, but the only thing that matters to me at the moment are my children, and nothing and no one else matters. As a mother, I hope you would understand that. Of course, she said, well, of course, that is why I came back to tell you about them, to hopefully ease your heart a little bit. She is fucking sadistic. She is sadistic. Ollie, at this point I am concerned, as I am so confused and I am worried that I will fall into a web of destruction again, just out of desperation to have access to my children. The conversation continued, and I will make it brief, as putting all the she said, I said takes too long and can get confusing. Overall, she kept trying to sound sincere in that she was only concerned with my well-being, and that's why she went back. She kept repeating this like I was supposed to say thank you, which I never did, but instead told her every time she said it, well, that's your personal choice to come back. I've already accepted that more than likely. I wouldn't have my kids until they're 18 in a few years, so even if you wouldn't have returned, I would have been just fine. She kept enticing me with information about my children, telling me that my oldest has a 4.0 at the moment and my youngest is in football. She even showed me current pictures of them. Obviously, I lost my backbone at this point and became hungry for anything she would tell me about my kids. Ollie, I don't want to lose all the progress I have made, and this really fucked with my head. How can I possibly stand my ground when things like this happen? What should I do? I feel as I'm back to square one. This is what you say. Anything that my children want to tell me about their lives, they can tell me themselves. Anything my children want to tell me about their lives, I want to hear it from them, not you, because you're a lying, manipulative cunt. And you walk away. You don't give her that power because you're giving her what she wants, the ability to torture you. I did not engage with her about her personally. I only spoke of my children, and when other topics arose from her end, I said it was best if we just focused on the kids, as I did not want to discuss any of the problem between us. All I care about are my kids. Seeing how much they've grown over the summer breaks me, going from not missing a single moment and cherishing every moment to not hearing them laugh or being able to see them sleeping when I check in on them at night kills me. I went from being a full-time single mom to a single woman with no family at all. Today was very hard for me, and the idea of again going so long without contact with my children is a thought that seems unbearable to me. I guess my question to you, Ollie, is I would like to know your perspective on this reassurance that it is a trap. My emotions are so overwhelming and I'm vulnerable as I miss my kids. I miss them so much I can't even stop crying as I'm writing you at this moment thinking if it's true that they don't want to talk to me or if she's going to continue to deny me them or what exactly the intention was today. Just a quick reminder to recap this entire year. This entire year, my mother has avoided me, and the only one who spoke to me on occasion was my stepdad. She avoided me at all costs, and for her to approach me really threw me off. Before we parted ways, she told me that I needed to know that no matter what I have said about her or done, that she will always love me because I'm her daughter, even though I made her sound like some evil monster. She loves me. She is an evil monster. Well, I love you. I told her, well, I love you the exact same way that you love me. And my opinion of you even if spoken to others, is in no way vicious or demeaning as to what you have told others about what you think of me. It is pointless to discuss it because it won't end. I told her, you are my mother and a lot has happened, but I can't act like it never happened. Things went too far and it was wrong, and I spent way too much time dwelling in the possibility of scenarios that never happened. I only want to live in the moment, but that is not to say that I can forgive and forget. If the boys need anything at all or want anything, they know how to get a hold of me and I will help them. We gave each other a very strange hug and said bye. Shouldn't have done that. I guess another reason this is bothering me is because although I am 34, I can honestly say I can count the amount of times my mother has told me I love you on one hand. So for her to show affection to somewhat contain herself is unexpected. I don't buy it for a second, but at the time, I have a small part of me that still wants to dream. It ain't happening. You're being hoovered. She's reeling you back in for another epic crash to get you under control. The dream ain't happening. And you have more power here than you think. And I'm going to get to the end because I'm almost at the end. I'm going to tell you why. The dream that perhaps I am wrong and now I can have my mother. You can't. That we can work things out and I can be with my children. I keep telling myself it would be so easy just to see my kids go along with the bullshit. And to be honest, it's comforting, and as twisted as that is. I know I have traumatic bonding. I know that I have traumatic bonding to an extreme, and I have always put my mom first. Please advise me in any way to shed some light on this to let me know if I am wrong or if I am overthinking this, or perhaps if I am not seeing what's going on at all. Thanks again, Ollie, for just being there. It is so wonderful to have somebody to talk to about my thoughts and problems who does not think I'm nuts. I hope that this also may help someone who has no contact with the idea of how to deal with that first face-to-face contact with your no contact person. Thanks, Ollie. I look forward to hearing your response. Shay. In that your mother never tells you she loves you, but she said it then. But she made sure to mention the truths you've been spreading about her is very, very telling. Another narcissist obsessed with self-image. And to me, the best way now to deal with the narcissist obsessed with self-image, especially this one. Well, first of all, you shouldn't have talked to her. I understand you're hungry for information, but that's why she did it. Anything your kids have to say to you, they could say themselves. You don't need it from her. You don't need it spoon-fed from her. The only thing I would have told her is, if you're so concerned about what I'm saying to you, about you to people, and you love me, good. Keep that in mind. Because again, I'm going to pull out my obituary idea. Because when you die, bitch, I'm going to write an opposing obituary and post it in every paper of everywhere you've ever lived, or anybody who would know you can see it. And I'm going to write out exactly what you did. And you're dead. And once again, I get the last word. You have more power over this woman than you think. She don't want you spreading her truths around. That is a very, very, very heavy thing to weigh on the narcissist's mind. Oh shit. The last word. And I'm dead, and there's nothing I can do or say about it. I'm really sorry this happened to you. But you were primed to be hoovered back in. She did you no favors. None. She played on your emotions as a mother, your love as a mother. She played it. She did everything a narcissist does, and she took pleasure in it. And at the same time, she still put a little veiled thread about, I don't care who you talk to, I still love you, even though she never told you she loved you your whole life. That means it bothers her. That means she was worrying about it. It was kind of a little veiled threat. Stop talking about me, and maybe I'll let you see your kids. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. You don't give her that power. You don't give her that power, not ever. It's on your terms, not hers. You say, this is the deal, bitch. When you die, I will print an opposing obituary with the entire story of exactly who and what you are. And I'm going to make sure it posts before your funeral so everybody who shows up knows they're doing nothing more than showing sympathy for the devil. That's how you take your power back. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you for your story. I really hope it helps. Thank you, everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, a narcissist you'd like to expose, you know what to do with the PayPal link, which supports the channel, and my email link in the description box. And remember, when you do send your story to the email link, please put at the top of the email whether it's with or without contribution and what name you'd like to go by. This is Ollie Matthews. Thanks for watching. See you all again soon.